Hello friends, welcome to this video. In this video we are discussing questions from LDCE exam paper 2 for the year 2021-22. We'll be covering 10 questions in this video from question number 76 to question number 85. So let's begin with question 76. The question is regarding pay fixation to a government servant who has been imposed a penalty, but this question has been marked incorrect or invalid by the UPSC for calculation. So there is no correct answer given in the answer key, hence we are dropping this question from discussion. Let's move on to the next question. It's on CCA rules. Consider the following statements regarding suspension in the context of CCA rules. 1965. Statement 1 says a government servant is deemed to have been placed under suspension with effect from the date of his detention if he is detained in custody on a criminal charge only for a period exceeding 48 hours. Now for this we'll go to page number 8 of CCA rules. Now deemed suspension is not only on the case of criminal charge, other reasons may also be there. Hence, due to the word only, this statement is incorrect. So if we, in the question we are asking the options which are not correct. So statement 1 is incorrect. Let's see the statement 2. An order of suspension shall not be valid after a period of 90 days unless it is extended after review for a further period before the expiry of 90 days. So that is correct. This is a very bad question. On page 9 you can see in rule 10 sub rule 7 that this is correct here. So statement 2 is right. Now let's try to solve this question with only two statements. So if you know statement 1 is incorrect and statement 2 is correct, so in that case this cannot be the right answer, but still we are left with two options. So UPSC wants us to go further in this question. Statement 3 says the government servant should be placed under suspension if he continues to remain absent from duty or stays leave without permission. So this has been repeated frequently. In these cases, as per DOPT OM dated 20th March 2013 and on page number 2, you can see that in these cases government servant should not be suspended, because in that case he has to be paid allowances, but disciplinary action should be taken against him. He should be given a notice to report. If it is not report, the authority should proceed with disciplinary action. So statement 3 is also wrong. So we are having a right answer, which is 1 and 3 only. But still, let's see statement 4, that a government servant placed under suspension while officiating in a higher post can be reverted to a lower post otherwise than as a punishment even during the suspension. So during suspension all the service rules are applicable, hence yes, he can be reverted to the lower post otherwise than as a punishment. So there is no bar to revert a government servant to a lower post during suspension. Hence statement 4 is correct and the right answer is option C. Next question is on pension. No, actually the question is on CCA rules. So the question says that consider the following statements in the context of CCA rules 1965, and it also links with pension, so actually it will fall in both the categories. So if a pensioner is found guilty of grave misconduct during the period of re-employment, no departmental proceedings can be initiated against him or her. So let's open the rules to see what is given there. So we have to refer to CCS pension rules 2021 for this question. So if you go to page number 4, para 7 1b, departmental proceedings can be taken place, and pension can be withheld or withdrawn. So statement 1 is incorrect, that no proceedings can be initiated. Statement 2 says that departmental proceedings cannot be initiated against a pensioner for any event which took place more than 4 years before such initiation. So on page number 5, you'll get the right answer for this question. In para 8 subpara C2, it is given that departmental proceedings cannot be initiated for an event which took place more than 4 years before. So this statement is correct. Statement 3 says provisional pension amounting to two-thirds of the entitled pension will be payable to a government servant against whom major penalty charge sheet is pending on the date of his retirement. So this statement is also incorrect. Actually, when charge sheet is pending, he will receive full pension which he would have received on retirement. Therefore, this statement is also incorrect. He will get full provisional pension in this case. Statement 4 says where the President orders recovery of pecuniary loss from pension as a result of departmental proceedings, the recovery shall not ordinarily be made at a rate exceeding one-third of the pension admissible on the date of retirement of the government servant. So for that, we'll refer to page number 6 of the PDF. In subpara 6, it is said that where President decides not to withhold or withdraw pension but orders recovery of pecuniary loss, then from pension the recovery shall not ordinarily be made at the rate exceeding one-third of the pension. So this statement is also correct. Hence, the question asking us which of these statements are correct. So statement 4 is correct, statement 2 is correct. Hence, the right answer is 2 and 4 only, which is D. So in this question, not all statements are very straightforward. So you can leave such questions in the exam because in every question paper you will not be able to solve all the questions. So rather than wasting time in examination hall, you should focus on simpler questions which you can solve easily in lesser time, and such questions can be left for the end. In case you get time, you can try to apply logic or aptitude, but in first go you should leave such questions. Question number 79, it's also a miscellaneous question. It does not fall into any particular topic. The question says that consider the following statements in the context of recruitment rules of Central Civil Services Group B posts. So for that you have to refer DOPT, frequently asked questions PDF on recruitment rules. Then you will be able to answer. You can find all these resources in our Telegram group. So I'm not opening this PDF to save time, and it's all easily available on internet if you want to download from internet. So statement 1 says that recruitment rules of the Central Civil Services posts being statutory in nature have the force of law. Yes, they have the force of law. They are published in a gazette. Recruitment rules can be modified through executive orders. No, they cannot be modified like that. A proper procedure has to be followed. In that case, like amending the rules, it's not just simple order which can change the recruitment rules. Modifications, amendments to recruitment rules are to be compulsorily notified in the same manner as original rules concerned. Yes, through gazette notification after minister's approval and proper consultations at each level. Statement 4 says formal amendment is not required if the intention of the alteration in recruitment rules is to liberalize the rules in favor of the government servant. Note, every time formal amendment is required whenever we are making some changes, especially in this case in statement 4. So the correct options are 1 and 3 only. That is option D is the right answer. Now next question is question number 80. Consider the following statements regarding a government servant who has been placed under suspension by the competent authority. So I'll again open the PDF on CCA rules for greater clarity. So the statement 1 says that suspension is not a form of penalty. So yes, in the list of major and minor penalties in Rule 11, suspension is not mentioned, and suspension is not a form of penalty. Again, statement 2 says competent authority while reviewing an order of suspension has extended the period of suspension for a further period of 240 days based on the recommendations of the suspension review committee. So let's check how many days are correct. In pair number 7, it is mentioned that no, in pair number 6 we have to read here. It is mentioned that order of suspension made or deemed shall be reviewed by the authority which is competent to modify or revoke the suspension before expiry of 90 days from the effective date of suspension. Extension of suspension shall not be for a period of exceeding 180 days at a time. So 180 days is the right answer, not 240. That's why this statement is incorrect. Next statement says suspension is not required to be reviewed before expiry of 90 days from the effective date of suspension. So let's see the right answer. Now you have to go to pair number 7. An order of suspension made or deemed to have been made under sub rule 1 of or rule 2 of this rule shall not be valid for a period of 90 days unless it is extended after review for a further period before the expiry of 90 days. So yes, this order is required to be reviewed. Hence this statement is also wrong. So we are left with only one correct statement, which is statement 1. Hence the right answer is A. Next question. Next question falls in miscellaneous category again. It pertains to various topics like leave, conduct, FR, CCA, and it discusses the concept of dice non. So dice non basically has two underlying principles, that is no work, no pay. And when a government servant is marked dice non, he loses financial benefits, but there is no break in service. So these are the two key attributes of dice non. So let's read the question. Consider the following statements in the context of a leave sanctioning authority in central government department marking an employee dice non. So then statement 1 is saying that an official can be marked dice non even if he or she performs duty for a part of day but leaves office before closing hours without proper permission. No, in that case he cannot be marked dice non. Yes, he cannot be marked dice non because he is leaving office before closing hours without proper permission, and he is not performing the work. Then statement 2 says when the official remains absent from duty without prior information, he or she can be marked as non. Yes, no pay, no work. This is also correct. Statement 3 says an official who has come late but has worked throughout the day during office hours can be marked as non. Yes, coming late can be condoned till a certain extent, and if he has worked throughout the day and delivered the required work, in that cases he cannot be marked dice non. So statement 3 is incorrect. Statement 4 says marking of days as a dice non will be construed as break in service. That's what we discussed earlier, that dice non is not a break in service, it's only loss of financial benefits. That's why statement 4 is also incorrect. So the question is asking us incorrect statements only, hence the right answer is 3 and 4 only, that is option D. Now next question is again on CCA rules. Consider the following statements regarding the procedure for imposing minor penalty on a delinquent government servant in terms of Rule 16 of CCA rules. Now let's read the rules. Censure can be imposed by a competent disciplinary authority on a delinquent GS for a minor misbehavior without recording a finding on the misbehavior needed to be done by the government official. Now, for this question, I would like you to refer to CC rules on the DOPT website. All the CC rules are covered in the format of a book. If you click on the right index page, it will take you to the correct topic. So, the chief principle or the chief attribute of censure is that it is a formal device. So, the question is saying that without recording a finding on the misbehavior is wrong. Recording has to be made, then only it will be called a censure because it's a formal device. And you can go to rules on CC on website on page 42 para 1. You can find the definition of censure and more elaboration on this statement. Statement 2 says holding of an inquiry in cases where a minor penalty is to be imposed is mandatory in all cases. So yes, this also you will find on page 94 of the CC rules on the website, and this is incorrect because in case inquiry has to be dispensed with, reasons can be recorded in writing for not doing the inquiry, and it's not mandatory to do the inquiry in all cases. Hence, statement 2 is incorrect. I'm not opening the website link to save time here because we have to quickly finish this video. Statement 3 says the competent disciplinary authority, after having regard to findings in respect of an inquiry held under Rule 14 of CCA rules, can make an order imposing the minor penalty of censure without following the procedure laid down for imposition of minor penalty. Now, censure is a formal device. Now, the question is asking about procedure should be followed, which has to be followed for a minor penalty. Now, question is saying findings in respect of inquiry held under Rule 14. So, Rule 14 pertains to major penalty. So, in major penalty, a procedure has already taken place, and censure is a minor penalty. So, we do not need to again follow the procedure laid down for minor penalty, because if you have followed the procedure for major penalty, it is more elaborate procedure and a more detailed procedure than minor penalty. Hence, the procedure for minor penalty can be left. So, this is also correct. Hence, the right answer is 3 only, because statement 1 and 2 are wrong. Let's move on to the next question, which is question number 83. Consider the following statements regarding the disciplinary proceedings under CCA rules 1965. Now, statement 1 says a competent disciplinary authority can close disciplinary proceedings initiated under Rule 14 of CCA rules by imposing a penalty of censure after due consideration of the defense submitted by the accused official. Now, in this case, this Rule 14 again we discussed, it's related to major penalty. So, even if proceedings are initiated under Rule 14, for giving censure, the procedure has to be followed. The proper procedure has to be followed under Rule 14, and after that only you can give the penalty of censure. Mere submission of statement by defense is not enough, because censure is also minor penalty and procedure has to be followed to impose such a penalty on a GS. Statement 2 says an inquiry officer has allowed a suspended government servant to function as defense assistant of accused official against whom disciplinary proceedings under Rule 14 have been initiated. अब इसका मतलब यह है कि एक गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट के अगेंस्ट मेजर पेनल्टी की प्रोसीडिंग्स इनिशिएट कर दी गई हैं, और दूसरा गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट उसका डिफेंस असिस्टेंट एक्ट कर रहा है, और वो गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट खुद सस्पेंडेड है. तो सस्पेंडेड गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट दूसरे जीएस का डिफेंस असिस्टेंट एक्ट कर रहा है. सो इज इट allowed or not? So now, as per DOPT letter number so and so dated 3rd July 1975. A GS under suspension can be allowed to function as defense assistant. The reasoning is that merely by being under suspension, one has not ceased to be a government servant. The above letter refers to a decision of Kerala High Court. So on the basis of that, statement 2 is correct. So this is not a easy question, it is a tough question. So you have to go very deep, and if you are very thorough with the topic of CCA, you will be able to solve this question if you are following all the court judgments, rulings. So you can leave this question in examination hall if you are confused or if you are not prepared with this topic in greater detail. तो स्टेटमेंट 3 में देखते हैं हम क्या लिखा हुआ है. A competent disciplinary authority has decided to drop proceedings initiated under Rule 14 and issue a fresh charge sheet without mentioning the reasons for such an action. So this is actually common sense. When we are reading some topic, उसमें कुछ प्रिंसिपल्स आपको बार बार रिपीट होते हुए मिलेंगे. जब आप सीसी रूल्स पढ़ेंगे तो गवर्नमेंट में कोई भी चीज़ बिना रीजनिंग के नहीं होती. अगर आप कुछ चीज़ स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं, कुछ चीज़ ड्रॉप कर रहे हैं, आपको रीजंस रिकॉर्ड करने पड़ेंगे राइटिंग में. कौन सी अथॉरिटी करेगी डेट्स अ डिफरेंट थिंग, बट पेपर पे आना चाहिए. सो दिस इज़ इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. सो इसको हम कोशिश करते हैं सॉल्व करने की एलिमिनेशन के मेथड से. तो अगर 3 इनकरेक्ट है तो हमें ये गलत मिल गया, हमें ये गलत मिल गया. 2 ऑप्शन हमारे पास बचते हैं. 2 में मान लीजिए हमें पता नहीं है. सो आइदर वी नो 1 और वी नो 4. तो 1 का हमने देख लिया कि हमें क्लियरली पता है कि इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट है. So by elimination we can mark option 2 as right option even though we don't know completely about the statement 2. Statement 4 भी देख लेते हैं ताकि और थोड़ा क्लियरिटी आ जाए. A legal practitioner can be allowed to function as defense assistant for a charged official in the proceedings initiated under Rule 14 if the presenting officer is a legal practitioner. थोड़ा डिफ़िकल्ट है बट आप CCA की जो डिटेल्स हैं वेबसाइट पे, उसमें पेज 61 पे जाएंगे तो पैरा 8A में आपको मिल जाएगा कि लीगल प्रैक्टिशनर डिफेंस असिस्टेंट बन सकता है. सो स्टेटमेंट 4 इज़ ऑल्सो करेक्ट और आपको रूल्स में मिल जाएगा ये अगर आप पढ़ेंगे. सो बाय एलिमिनेशन यू कैन स्टिल ट्राई टू टेक कैलकुलेटेड रिस्क इन दिस क्वेश्चन. लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन ऑफ दिस वीडियो. Consider the following statements under disciplinary proceedings under CCA rules 1965. A head of department as a disciplinary authority can vary his or her decision recorded at the conclusion of the departmental proceedings before it is communicated formally to the government servant concerned. No, again, he cannot change his decision. If he wants to change, he has to record the same in the writing. So this we can eliminate. Statement 2 says a government servant who holds a lien on a permanent civil appointment is dismissed from army service and he will be stand automatically dismissed from his or her permanent civilian appointment. तो लीगन होल्ड कर रखा है सिविल पोस्ट पे, आर्मी से डिसमिस कर दिया तो क्या सिविल सर्विस से भी सिविल पोस्ट से भी डिसमिस हो जाएगा ऑटोमेटिकली. इसका आंसर है नो. ये आपको मिल जाएगा फंडामेंटल रूल्स कंपाइलेशन में स्वामी के पेज 28 पे पैरा 1 में दिया हुआ है गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का क्लैरिफिकेशन दिस रिगार्ड. दिस इज रॉन्ग. He cannot be dismissed automatically in this case. Disciplinary authority of civil post will take necessary action. आर्मी सर्विस से डिसमिस हुआ, सिविल पोस्ट की जो कंसर्न अथॉरिटी है, डिसिप्लिनरी अथॉरिटी है, वो एक्शन लेगी एंड एक्ट करेगी. सो स्टेटमेंट 3 वी आर सॉल्विंग. A disciplinary authority can make such orders as deemed fit under Rule 19 of CCA Rules 1965 in cases where GS is convicted by a court of law on a criminal charge without consulting the Central Vigilance Commission. So again, we'll refer to page 25. And Rule 19, where it is written special procedure in certain cases. So इस केस केवल एक मैंडेटरी रिक्वायरमेंट है यहाँ पे कि जो जीएस है, डिसिप्लिनरी अथॉरिटी एक्शन ले सकती है एंड जीएस को रिप्रेजेंट करने की अपॉर्चुनिटी देनी पड़ेगी. सो इन दीज 3 cases, without consulting CVC or anybody, disciplinary authority can take action under Rule 19 of CCA rules. Commission means UPSC shall be consulted where such consultation is necessary, but CVC का कोई इसमें mention नहीं है. So yes, without consulting CVC is correct. So only condition is that GS is given an opportunity to represent. That's all what is required under Rule 19. Statement 4 says disciplinary authority can impose penalty against an absconding official involved in a case of fraud without holding inquiry contemplated under Rule 14 of CCA Rules 1965. Now again we'll see this in page 25 Rule 19.2, that where disciplinary authority is satisfied for reasons to be recorded by it in writing that it is not reasonably practicable to hold an inquiry. So in case of fraud वही सिचुएशन बन रही है. Official is absconding in the case of fraud, so without inquiry proceed कर सकते हैं. So this is also correct. Hence statement 4 is correct, 3 is correct, 1 and 2 are wrong. So the right answer is option A, 3 and 4 only. So the last question of this video is again on CCA rules. Consider the following statements in the context of disciplinary proceedings. Punishing authorities are required to forward appeals to appellate authorities within 45 days from date of appeal. So for that we will go to page 29. Rule 27 is on consideration of appeals, and Rule 26 on form and contents of appeal. So under Rule 26, sub Rule 3 says that it has to be forwarded without any avoidable delay. ऐसा कुछ 45 days का पीरियड नहीं है, immediately forward करना है. So statement 1 is incorrect. Statement 2 says appeal against suspension in matter of promotion can be made under Rule 23(4) of CCA rules. So for that we'll refer to page number 27, Rule 23. So it says that an order of suspension made or deemed to have been made under Rule 10, 23(1) के केस में यहाँ पे अपील हो सकती है. So it is saying that subject to provisions of Rule 23, GS may prefer an appeal against all or any of the following orders. So it is 23(1). It is very factual, difficult है, but as per the rule it is wrong. It is 23(1), not 23(4). Let's move on to statement 3. An appellate authority under CCS rules can enhance penalty imposed by disciplinary authority without giving reasonable opportunity. So दो चीज़ें हैं. रीजनेबल अपॉर्चुनिटी तो हमेशा देनी ही देनी है. पेनल्टी इनहेंस कर रहे हैं तो डेफिनेटली आपको देनी पड़ेगी. ऑफिशियल लैंग्वेज हम चेक कर लेते हैं इसकी, पेज नंबर 31 पे. So Rule 27, para 2, sub para 3. So it says that if the enhanced penalty which appellate authority proposes to impose, appellant has been given a reasonable opportunity for making a representation. So statement 4 is also incorrect. Sorry, statement 3 is also incorrect. Now statement 4. A disciplinary authority has cancelled its own order imposing penalty under CCS/CC rules. I think the senior authority should cancel the order. So I think all the options are incorrect and none of the options is matching. So UPSC has marked this question as invalid. It has not been considered for calculation of marks. So this brings us to the end of this video. You can go through all the rules mentioned in this video on CCS on CCA webpage, or you can download the CCA PDF. In both these sources you will be able to find the solutions of the questions. So if you like our video, please subscribe to our channel LDCE Made Easy and subscribe to the notifications also. We'll meet soon again with some more good content. Till then, take care. Bye bye.